Okay, so yeah. So today what we gonna do is basically okay. So today what we gonna discuss over here is you can see my screen, right? And the PPT which I'm presenting. Rajeshwari, you can see my PPT right now.
No, I can
No,
see.
no,
Oh,
I can't see Maninder.
I can't see too.
Okay, so I it's not good. Okay. Oh, stop. Share it again. Okay. Hmm. That was two. Now you can see it. Okay. And why did getting okay. Now you can see, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So now, today what we're gonna see is UiPath variables, conditions, and loops. So we're gonna see it is in depth that okay we are using right. Why we are focusing on basic things over here because with these basic things only you will able to understand panels and how to use it. So what we're gonna see is first we're gonna see variables. We're gonna understand a little bit of variables. You know variables, but we're gonna kind of recap over here. Then types of variable which we are using, which daily we are using in UiPath projects. Okay, it can be datetime variable, it can be string variable, it can be generic variable. Okay, so there are few variables list we're gonna see. We're gonna create some. Then we have some classroom exercises. We're gonna create those exercises in UiPath. Press this exercise. Then we're gonna see conditional branching. If and else. Then we have loops. Okay. So in loops, while loop, do while loop, for each loop, and then we have exercise. So this will sum up the basic entire basic thing okay, which is required from the coding perspective. Okay. Apart from that, you don't need much coding in UiPath. UiPath is basically tools. Okay. So we're gonna see these basic thing how we're gonna use it, and then second next we will go ahead with another topic which is data. Okay. So okay. So anybody have any question till now? They can ask the question. You can raise your hand or ask questions. If you are not able to hear, or if you want me to repeat anything, you can me and you can say that okay, hey, I didn't understand this thing. Okay, so let's start. So now we're gonna see first thing. What we're gonna see over here is okay. What is variable? So variable is nothing but a symbol for a value we don't know yet. It's like is usually later like x or y, like +2 is equal to 6. X is your so a variable is a data type whose value cannot be fixed. You can't say that okay, x is equal to 5 and then everywhere wherever you're going to use x it will be no. If you say x is a variable, that means its value can be changed. Value can be now it's 5, its value can be 6, its value can be 7, its value can be anything. Okay. So that's a variable. That means the value is varying, okay, according to the need. Okay. So a variable is a data type whose value cannot be fixed. If you say, okay, fine, you say, fine, x is equal to 7 or is equal to 8, and you want that to be completely used throughout your throughout your code, x is equal to 5 only, then you have to make x as a constant, not as a variable. Variable is that thing which value will be changed. If it is 5 right now, and you say, okay, x is equal to 5 plus 7, so it will be 12 next time. Okay, its value can be changed. You can't fix it. If you fix it, you're making it a constant, not a variable. Okay, so variable will be anything. A data type variable is just like a data type whose value cannot be. Okay. So with this example, you will understand that, okay, what is data and what is variable. So you can see variable is just like a bucket. Okay. You can put anything inside it. Okay. But before putting anything inside your bucket need to know that, okay, which is the data type, what kind of data you are storing in that bucket, so that that bucket can change the size and nature according to your data. Okay. So the next time you say, okay, I want to store int type of value in this variable, so the variable will change. Variable will become int variable. That means it will become 4-bit variable, and it will allocate the integer part from your memory. If you say it is a string, so it will store string type and it will become string type of variable. If you say it's a list, it become collection type of variable. Okay. Okay. So that means with this picture, you can understand that, okay, what is variable? Basically, variable is a bucket which is holding your data. Okay. But before using your variable, you need to tell your program that, hey, I'm going to store X kind of variable or Y kind of variable. Okay. Any type of variable. I'm going to store string variable. I'm going to store integer variable. I'm going to store different variable. So you need to tell that, okay, what kind of thing in it. Got it, Rajeshwari?
Yes, sorry. Yes, Maninder, sorry.
Okay. Your name is actually my mother's name, so it's very weird for me to take that name.
Okay.
Fernando, it's clear for you?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, great. So now let's understand what type of variables you have, in UiPath. So we will look into those variable only which you are using, day to day, not any random variables. Okay, only few type of variables which you are using in your UiPath. Everywhere, wherever you automate, you will see either the value is in text, you will see either the value is a number, you will see either the value is true and false boolean type of variable. Okay, you will see either it is a list variable, date time variable, and generic variable. In these, I think most of the people will be familiar with text, number, true false list, or the new thing will be for you is date time and general. Okay, so we're gonna use it with a practice session. So we have practice examples. Also, first, let's see a little bit of theory. So let's understand text variable or string variable. Text or a string variable is a type of variable that can store only string type. String type means inside double quotes, anything you write, it will become string. In a simple method, you write a number inside double quotes, it becomes string. So anything you're gonna write inside your, double quotes, it becomes string. So text variable or string variable, you can say that inside double quotes, whatever you are storing, that becomes a string variable. So if you want to define it, first you need to define the type, like string. Then you have the variable name s is equal to, and you have. So this is the first type of first common variable which you use. Second type of variable which you have is a number of or integer, okay, which stores the number. Okay. The number variables are also known as integer or int32 or int64. So it's like a bit size. You want to store a bigger number, you have int64. You want to store a smaller number, you. So it's a variable which stores the numeric value. So it's very important for you to assign right value to the right variable. You can say that, okay, this like distance between Earth and Moon is 384,400 kilometers. You can say I can store it in string. But when you will do some operation, suppose you have to add 5 kilometer more into it. So you can't add 5 plus a string value. You can't do it. If you want to add two numeric value, you need to store those values into the numeric value. Okay. Now let's see. This is true and false, or you can say Boolean. Okay. So Boolean or bool, you can say these variables stores basically true or false. Okay, only two possible values. Can't have third value. You can't say that okay, I want to true, false, and something else. No, only in Boolean you have either it is true, either it is false, one bit variable. So now you have list. Okay, list variable is a type of variable which enable you to store multiple values of same type. Always remember, you can't store different values, type of values in a single list. The list values will be according to the defined type. Like over here, you can see list int 32. That means in this list, I have numbers only. But if you see the next list, you have list string. That means you have defined that my list is of string type, and then you can have names over here, Maninder, Hello, India, and these. So you have to have specific type of data. Okay. So list will assign or add the same type of variable. Now, date time. So date time generally you use, okay, date time is a variable, that enable you to store information about any date and time. Okay. So date time variable you generally use to create files. Suppose they are saying that, okay, every day you have to create a Excel file, Excel report. Okay. So how you will have the name of file will be like you will have ROI underscore today's date. If you want to get today's date, you can get it with the help of datetime dot today, datetime dot today dot toString ddmm yy. So this is what you can see over here. ddmm yy is basically the form. So if you want to have date, okay, so it will be dd. If you want to have then yy and these things. Okay, let me show you a little bit of. Now, suppose I want to have, you know, so let me show you the format. So if you write dd, okay, like this, anything over here, and you say yy. So this format will give you, suppose today's time is 13/01/24, if according to ISBN. Okay? So the date will be 13, month will be 01 because there's a two character, and YY will be 24. If you give DMM YYY, so this will become, because this is Jan, so it will become JAN. These are fixed formats which you have to give in your, while getting date. So these are fixed formats. This 2D and 1D is like, okay, if you have, suppose today is 2nd, 2nd of January. So if you give DD, so it will give you date as 02. If you give D, it will give you date. If you give M, it will give you like Jan, so it will give you 1. If you give 1, 2, 3, it will give you Jan. If you give YY, it will give you 24. If you give YYYY, it will give you 24. So these are fixed formats when you have to get. Now let's understand how you can get date. So if you want to get today's date, so I'll use date time function. Sorry, date time class. So date time names. So you will use date time namespace. Then you will use today class. So today is a class which will have all the things, information about today. Date. It will have date, it will have time, it will have year, month, whatever you want to have. Now, I want to get my date, today's date, in a fixed format. That means I'll give to string, and whatever format you want inside double quotes, you will get it. Wanted DD, and I want in between underscore. So I'll put underscore MM underscore YYYY. I'm gonna get my today's date like 13 underscore because I gave underscore. So my compiler only knows these things when I go with the date time. Okay. Yeah. Last till coming. So it is like 13. Month will be 01 underscore 2024. These underscores are coming because of, okay. Any doubt, guys, till now? Anyone has any doubt? Please go ahead. Please ask the question. This is date time. And generally, you will use these date times only. Suppose next day you have a task and they are saying, okay, see, I want to get, mm, I want to get date, okay, but previous, you have to print date, but month has a previous month. So what you will do, you will have date time function. First, you will take date time namespace. Then you will say, okay, today, and then you can use add function. Now, what you want to add? You want to add days, so you write add days. You want to add, month, so you will have the month. Means you want to play with date. Suppose they said, okay, uh, you have to generate a report of 1 week, not Monday to Friday. It's like you have to generate, like suppose today is Saturday. I want information from last 5 days. So that means if today is 13, I want information from 8. So this is dynamic because tomorrow it will be 14 and my date will be 9. I want information. That means you want information of last 5 days. Right? Today you can get first date, this date from date time function or today. Okay. In which format you want to string? Because I want to convert this date format because I want to use it. I need simpler format. So I want to use it in DDMM YY. I will get this, but how to get this date? Mahesh, you are getting information?
Yeah, I'm getting Maninder.
Okay. Now you have to get this 9, right? Because you need to have these 5 days in, but you need to have at least fixed dates from where to where you want the information. You have to enter this in system. The first variable will be this. First thing you will say, okay, today. You have created a variable today, date. Now you have 5 day before date you want to. So now if you want to get it, you will use date time function, sorry, date time namespace, and today class, and then from you will add days because you want to play with days, right? So you have days, and then you will give -5, and then two string dd mm yyyy. Much Yeah, double quotes. Now, if you want to say, okay, next minus will show, this minus is denoting basically, I want to add days, but in minus. So I will get information or I will get the date of last 5, means fifth day, previous fifth day. You want, ahead 5 dates, like today's 14, you want date as 19, right? Today's 13, you want date of like 5 days, 18. So it will be not 5, it will be just 5. Add days and you will find it. Similarly, if he says that, okay, 1 month data from today. So instead of add days, you will use add month and the format will. So date time is very important when they ask you to generate report, you know, somewhere they ask you to, name the files. Somewhere they will say that, okay, please automate this. You have to go to a portal and enter, today's date and date from the last 30. You need to download data of last 30 days. Manually, you know that, okay, you will go to calendar and say, oh, 30 days is this, but it's automation. You have to have two variables. One will be today's date, and the second one will be the, day from 7, day from the last, again, 30 days. So that's how, and that's here date type function. Okay. Any doubt, guys, till now in any variable? These are basic variable. I can understand string, you will not get problem, but the only problem you'll get in date time. Minute, new thing for you. Okay. So, uh, this is date time variable, type of variable. So now let's understand our head with our next step. Yeah. Hello. Okay. Fernando, you are asking any question?
No.
Okay. Okay.
It's okay. But maybe I have a question. For
Uh-huh.
example, what happens if we need,
Uh-huh.
for example, um, let me explain. For example,
Mhm.
it don't matter for what day is today, for example. My question is how can we obtain the first day of week and the last day of week, the last week?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know
I
how.
understood.
Yeah, but
Understood. So you
uh-huh.
want like, okay, if today's so in this week, where how to get Monday and how to get Friday, right?
Yeah, but the last week, the uh-huh.
Okay, okay. For that, we have a very big formula actually. Okay, but it is with the date time only. You have to, add some numbers in that, and then you'll get date. So,
Okay.
I'll tell you the formula. I mean, I'll give you the formula. Okay? I'll post the formula. So it's a big formula. I generally use it. Uh, I can understand where this problem statement is coming. So basically, they ask you to get the report of, you know, the weekly report, right? There you need to download the information over there. So there is a big formula. Okay. So,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, nothing happens. Yeah, we can see it later. Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah. I mean, it's
It's
better. I don't know
yeah,
for you. Is continue for the course.
it's a bigger formulas. Like they will ask you to get the date, or they can make it a very 2 days, 2 weeks date. They will ask you. So that kind of information, like bigger information, it will be a bigger formula. That's we don't have straightforward things over here. It will be a bigger formula. Okay. So I'll
Mhm.
explain at the end. Okay. Cool. So now we set with now yeah. So we were at that daytime. So these are the basically right now it's a basic thing like daytime, how to get the daytime and how and add, and we are using right now we were using inbuilt formulas, okay, inbuilt thing. But like Fernando said that, okay, if they say, okay, for this week, what was the date of Friday, then for that you have to create some kind of formula. Not We don't have inbuilt functions in our today or in date time namespace. We we have to build a formula. So cool, we can build it later, but right now let's now Now, the last variable or the last variable type which we have in UiPath is a generic variable. Suppose you are getting information from user, okay, and you don't know whether the information will be a number, whether the information will be a string, whether the information anything, okay. Very you are creating suppose you are creating a very intelligent bot, okay, and which is working as a so if I say that okay, user's information is age, okay, so it's like a chat GPT. User can enter anything. It can enter number. It can say, okay, 2 plus 2, tell me 2 plus 2. It's numeric thing. The user can ask a question. It's a string thing. The user can just enter date. It can be a date thing. So where you don't know anything, how user gonna enter the information or how the information come, you will create a generic variable for it. So generic variable is a type of variable that can store any kind of data. It can be text, it can be a number, it can be date, it can be array, it can anything. It's a generic. Okay. It basically automatically convert into other type. So it's not, converting or in the background, it's not other converting and all. Okay. It's basically you have a specific location in the memory for it, basically. Try understand in this, layman language that, okay, have a specific space for generic variable where you are storing where it's saying you have a very universal bucket where you are saying you can store anything over here. So then why we need string int and all? Because when you go with the conversion, when you go with the operation where you say that okay, 2 plus 2, these are operations. Like when you say that okay, cut this string into half, these are operations. Okay. So when you have these kind of things, okay, when you have these kind of uh, things, operations, then there might be a problem with the generic side. There might be, generic is not able to automatically convert means properly, it's not able to convert. So if I have one integer, another one, suppose I have, it is double quotes 15 and 60 number. You want to add it. It's not because according to generic, both are generic. But in the background, first became string and the second became number. Yeah. So possibility that automatic conversion is not perfect in general. But what you can do is you can get information from user, okay, and convert that into a specific type. You say that okay, enter anything. Now user, whatever you know that okay, whatever user gonna enter over here, you're gonna check, you wanna convert that directly into, you know that okay, whatever user gonna enter, it is a number only. And convert. You can't force it user to do that. So what is the difference over here is okay. So the difference is right now, if you make it like int, you are accepting information from user over here and you make it, so it should be int only. And user enters 8. Fine for you because your int became 8. But if user enters over here rs, it's a string. So what will happen? This text box that time automatically will send that okay, RST is not an integer and all. But you don't want user to, you know, get error that time only before processing this. I want to store user information and then tell user that hey, you have entered wrong information. This is what right now things are going on in everywhere. Not like you have entered something wrong and the system is saying, oh, you have entered something wrong. No, whatever you gonna feed to your computer, whatever you're gonna feed to your system, that is basically a data for that system. That data will be used. Like if I over here I have text box over and I have to enter an integer and I wrote badminton. It's not like it that time only this text box will say, oh, you have entered a string value, you don't have no, it will accept this information. It will use this information somewhere. To say, oh, the user is thinking about badminton. Okay, let's tell Amazon that, oh, hey, this person is thinking about badminton. So for that, you have generate. So what you can do is you can get the information from user, whatever information they want to enter a number, they're going to enter a string, they're going to enter true, false, anything, whatever they want to write it. You accept that information. Then convert that information into integer. And while converting, this will be possible, but for these two, not possible. It will throw error. Then tell your user that, hey, you have entered this is, which seems like something else, not but not a number. So generic variable in the short form, generic variable can store anything. Okay. But the problem is you can't use everywhere generic. Try to be specific whenever you are creating variable or whenever you are, you know, trying to create variables. Okay. So now I hope you are familiar, theoretically familiar with the variables. Okay. So these are exercises which we have three exercises over here. Oh, sorry, first exercise over. So now we have to build. Uh, First is swapping. So we'll take two numbers from user, or we can store two numbers into variables, and then we'll swap the variable, the numbers. Okay? Like if x is 5 and y is 6, then x will become 6 and y will be 5. Sorry, x will become 6 and y will become 5. And the second thing which you need to have is you need to calculate the age of that person, exact age of this. Okay. So you need to have, like, suppose um, today's date is 13/01/2024 and the user's date of birth is 09/05/1996. Then you need to calculate the date, okay, days basic, how many days the person is, how many months, and how many years. You can say that the person is right 28 years, 27 years. Okay. Mm. If I talk about days, you can say that, okay, the days are like 1,000 something days he lived till now in this house. Month also. So you have this formula, the entire formula. Okay. So I'm gonna do the easy one. You're gonna do this tougher one. But the good thing about over here, have the formula, you have to have actual date today. Okay. So let me first develop this thing, the first thing, which is inform swapping one. Okay. And so I'll develop this, I'll demonstrate this, then I'll give you 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, you can do that thing on your system. Okay, Jyoti, works?
Yes, Maninder.
Okay. So while I'm developing, please your complete focus should be on the system. It's not just like we are creating, it's like, okay, while I'll be creating, I'll tell you two, three things like, how to create variables, where to create variables, and then as we have discussed in last session also that where I was showing you that, okay, with a control K you can create variables, and that how my UiPath knows that what kind of variable it need to create. This kind of information, when I'm developing it, please focus on the screen, okay? And then you can develop. Later, I'll give you 5 minutes. Then you can develop it. And while developing, if you're getting any issue, you can share your screen and I'll help you out over there. Okay. Let me first develop this thing. So I'm gonna develop a build workflow. Okay, I'm gonna build a workflow that swap two numbers. Okay, so that gonna swap two numbers over here. Let me go to UI path. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'll go to UI path over here. So this is UI path. I'm gonna create a process. So you can create a simple process. Till now, we are not familiar with different type of workflows like sequence, flowchart, and these kind. So we're gonna create a process. So this will be a simple sequence. We're gonna give a name. We're gonna say variables underscore because I'm giving it name like variables loops. And I'm gonna say this. Description. Okay, so I don't know whether I should keep description over here or not. I can say we're gonna perform uh, on named topics. Okay. Now location, I can choose the location from here. So I'll click on this folder. So right now, what I'm doing is in UiPath, I'm creating a workflow for, workflow for my activities, whatever activity. I'm creating workflow for my activity. I have given a name. So name should be like this. Okay. You can have underscore wherever you want to. As I said, wherever in the name you want to have a space, please use underscore. Don't use the space over, directly don't use space like this. Don't use it. Okay. Try to be, formal while creating a project. Name should be a proper defined name. Okay, then you can give a particular description. This description is important because when you will close your project and next time you will open it, you will see it in your recent tab. Now over here you can see hello world. This is a hello world program. So with this description, this is the description. With this description, I can understand what it is, what this project. So if you have to write, suppose 10 lines of description, write it over there because it will be reflecting over here and it will be easier for you, next time that, okay, whenever you will open your project or whenever you will open your UI project. Oh, that was this. The third thing is location where you want to store this project. So I want to store this project into my desktop where I have created automation journey. And over here, I can say, okay, right? Compatibility is Windows class and cross-platform. So I want to create this automation for Windows application. On Windows, I want to run this program in my Windows window. My window. Okay, so compatibility is like, okay, if you choose cross-platform, that means you want to run your program in Linux, DOS. So I want to run it in Windows basically. So I'm creating uh, Windows. Now language is VB or C Sharp. As I told you earlier also that, okay, this entire UI path is built upon two languages, VB and C Sharp. Okay. It is using basically Microsoft platform. So I'm using VB. So VB and C Sharp, when you say, okay, suppose I'm selecting C Sharp, that means my background, when I will be dragging and dropping and all activities, that your background code will become VB code entire. If you want to write any expression, you have to write it in VB. Like I'm writing, if you see over here, if I have to write this thing, sorry, if I have to write this thing, the entire thing, this is basically a VB. If I have to write it in, I choose language C sharp, then I need to Google it and I have to say, okay, please get me that, date difference between two dates in C sharp code. So that means you need to use expression, C sharp expression over there, wherever you want to use. So this is VB expression. So I will choose VB. So whatever you gonna choose over here in the language, That language only you can use into write your program wherever you are writing expression. Be sure you're choosing VB or C sharp. So I'm choosing VB. So I'll click on create. So it is creating a workflow, oh, sorry, workflow basically. Okay. Hi, Samruddhi. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How are you?
Fine.
Okay. So, कसा काय?
Hello.
तो आप पुणे से हैं? You're from Pune, right?
Yes.
Okay, nice. पुणे में कहाँ से?
Moshi.
Okay. I've been to Pune. I was in Magarpatta and it's a
Okay.
okay. You're able to understand things over here?
Ha, yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, if you have any question, please feel free to ask it, okay? Anytime
Yes.
you can raise the
Yes.
question.
Mm.
Cool. So this is your first class, right?
Yes.
Okay, please go through the recordings. It will be clear for you. If you need any help in, if you have any doubt or any help, we can have doubt sessions, one-to-one.
Okay.
Okay,
ठीक.
so please go through the recording, and if you have any question anywhere, you can just ping me, and we can block each other's time, 1 hour time, and we can clear the doubts. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay.
cool.
Thank you.
Okay, chalo, theek hai. Okay, cool. So now let's what's my thing was what I need to create is I'm building a workflow that swaps two numbers using a third variable. Okay, so to do that, what I'm gonna do is I will create a new sequence. I'll not touch this main workflow. I'll create a new sequence because I'm gonna everything, whatever programs I'm gonna build on this file. Okay, so I'm keeping this main as blank. Leave this main as blank, no worries. Now I'll create a sequence, okay, and I'll say swap underscore or not underscore to num. I'm using Pascal camel case basically. So it will swap two numbers and I'll click on. Now I can see this file in my project folder also. So let's panel also. Now I need to create two variables. Like, I'll go to variable panel. I'll click on this thing. I need to click on this thing because I need to tell my UI path where I want to create variable, where I want to define these two variables. Okay. So I am defining this variable, or I'm saying that my first number, suppose I'm saying my variable, I'm creating this variable. I'll say first IRST underscore num. Okay, or I can say remove that one. I'll just use first number. Then you have to say, okay, what is your variable type? So I'm gonna have first as a number. Then have this I'll have scope as swap two numbers because this is my scope over here. Whatever you want to see, suppose you have different things on your sequence. Suppose you have different scopes, blocks. So you can see it in outline. So in outline, whatever you want to see, you will see everything over here. Okay. So it's possible that you can have multiple blocks, you know, like you have, suppose you have one block over here.
Sure.
Oh, Rajeshwari, you are on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. So, okay. So now the possibility that, okay, in your workflow, you have this, you have this, you have these multiple sequences are there. So you want to define where you want to define your variable. This is called, if you have defined your X inside this sequence, small sequence, then your variable will be accessible, visible, everything inside this block on. If you have defined your variable inside this block, then your y variable will be visible, usable, anything will be inside this block, will be not visible. This is called scoping. Like in Mexico, you have peso, so it will be usable, definable inside Mexico only, not in India. If in India we are using rupees, so this rupees will be usable, definable in India only. There's no use of rupees in Mexico. If you go to Mexico and say, oh, hey, I have 5 rupees, give me this thing, they will say, "Ah, there's no use of this rupees over there. There's just a piece of paper over there. But here it has a value. It has something. You can use it. Similar, that's called scoping, where this particular variable, where this particular value is usable. So that's why you have to, whenever you are creating some variable, this scope is very important. Suppose you have two sequences, you have two blocks. The sequences are nothing but the blocks. You have two blocks. By this sequence name I'm writing as block A. I'm writing another one as block B. Okay. These are two containers, simple blocks. If I inside this one, suppose I have click on it, I went to variable section and I say X. And you can see from the scope, if I go to the variable scope drop down, I have two. First, block. Second is swap two numbers. If you go to outline, you will see over here swap the parent. Inside the swap block, you have two blocks, block A and block. Swap two numbers is nothing but this thing, this entire thing, the entire area. And in this area, I have two blocks, block A, block B. Now, if I click on block B, you can't see your second variable, right? If I click on block A, you can see your X. That's scoping. And this X will be visible inside this, visible and usable. If I click on block B, you can't see it. If you click on block, you, if you want to change the scope, you can change the scope. You want to change the scope, you can change the scope. Want to change the scope of this one, you can change the scope. If I say, okay, now first num will be visible inside B. Now, if I click on block A, here first num will be this. It's not visible. On this one, it will be visible. I made the scope of my first num variable is block. Now make parent block. Now this will be first num visible. First num is visible in both the block. Now, if for the X also I made suppose swap two parent block. So now these two numbers are visible everywhere. I click on any scope, it's visible. So in outline, you can see there are two. So this is my parent block. I have two numbers, which is entire one. Click on okay, yes, you can see over here. So this outline will show you your projects. This outline panel will show you your project's hierarchy. What you are using where. So in the interview, they can ask you, okay, because in interview you will feel that everybody knows about variable panel, everybody knows about activity panel, everybody knows about project panel. You know, what if they ask you outline panel? They ask you what okay, what you can see in outline panel. One of my student was giving interview and they ask you what is the use of this snippet panel. Is giving interview for architect level and they are asking you, okay, what is the use of this snippet panel? If you go to the market, ask 100 developers what is the use of snippet panel, only 10% or 5% people will be able to tell you what is the use of the snippet. Only 10% of people will able to tell you what is the use of outline. 100% people will tell you, will be able to tell you, okay, what is the use of activity panel? What is the use of project? So outline panel, you are able to understand it now. Now you are able to understand scoping. Okay, I'm hoping it over here. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask related to scope or anything. Okay, so now I'll delete this one. I'll just click on delete button. Okay, now in this block, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna do everything inside this block. Now we are working on swap two numbers. Okay, I have first number, and I'm gonna give a default value to it. If you don't give a default value to any integer variable, the default value of any integer variable will be 0. Like Boolean will have false. Okay. Now my first number, and now I have created another number. I'm saying second number. So now I have two numbers. Okay. Please focus on my naming convention also. So I have created two numbers over here. Scopes I have defined. It will entire the parent scope. Okay. Hierarchy parent. Now I want to assign values to these. First thing, I'll assign values. So I'm gonna take, you have two activities for it. In the earlier classes, you have seen assign, simple assign, okay? But you can take another activity that's called multiple assign, okay? So multiple assign will help you to assign multiple variables. Okay? So I am saying my first number is, I can give anything 5. You add it over here. Now my second number is, I'm giving 8. So I have assigned my values to these two numbers. First number, okay, first number and second number. I have given the, now to swap it with the help of third number. So as you have seen in method, okay, how we give second method, swapping method program, how we make it. Like suppose your x is 5, y is 6. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna take the third variable that's called temp, and we're gonna give it value 0 initially. I need to swap these two values. That means I need to give this value to this and this value to this. That will use third variable called temp. In my first interview, in my first company's interview, they asked me swapping when I was in the call. So this is temp. Now what I will do, I will assign one of the variable to this temp. Like suppose I said, okay, I need to empty the y. So I'll assign my y value to this temp. That means my temp will become 6 now. And then I will assign my x to this y. That means my y become 5 now. And then I will assign my my temp value to x. That means now my x is 6 because my temp was 6. So that means I have assigned my these values. That means my y is now and x is. This was the goal. Okay. Anyone has any doubt regarding to this swapping logic with the third variable? Anyone? Bharti, it's clear for you?
Thank you.
Hello? Can't
Yes,
hear
I understood. Hello.
Yeah. Now I can hear you. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll create third variable also. So click on add, and I have created with a control K. Now I create with a control K method. Okay, so as I said, you can create variable with the help of control K. Wherever you want to create the variable, just press control K over there. It will ask you to set a variable name. Okay. Now in the variable section, it has created, you can see it has created a temp variable. I just have to change the variable type as integer. Okay. And I will assign 0 value. I have created 3 variables in the starting. Now we will play this game. The game was temp. So first thing what I will do, I will assign, I'll take a assign activity and I will assign my temp variable with my y. Okay. Now, second method is, so that means my temp will have the value 8. Now, in my second variable, second num, I will assign my first. Why I'm doing this? Because second variable's value I need to save somewhere before overwriting something into second variable. Now, my third task, which is very simple task, will be in my first variable. Now, I have assigned my first variable to this one. That means I can use it now. I can empty this one and then use it. So I have used first one as I will use. Okay. So initially and the finally, what my values are. So I want to see these values. So I will use right line and I will say over here, you can say now, let's see this one. The first number is I am using over here. Please focus over here. I am using string concatenation. So I am adding two strings, So it will show me first number is 5 like this. So I'm giving first number string plus this variable dot to string. I'll use it because this first number is an integer type. I'm trying to concatenate two things. One is string, another one is number. So that means I need to have both the things into same. So that means this is string. So I'll make this also as a string. So if you want to convert anything into string, you can just add dot to string. Okay, and this will convert this thing into. Okay. Now, I want to say second one, but I don't want to use it like this. I want to write it another line. I want it to print it as another line. So how you can use VB new line is a function which you can, or is a method which you can use to write next task into a new line. Okay. So I'll use second number is I'm using this again. I'll say second num dot to string because I want to add over here. I want to club both this thing together. First number is this. I have used write line activity because I want to print this information to our output panel over here. Okay, while running it. Now I'll use the same write line and I'll copy paste it at the end. I'll just add one information over here. Finally, and this. So it will be like finally first number is 8, second number is 5. Like now I have both the information. So I can go to the debug panel. So this is a new thing over here, guys. You have seen in the last classes, you have seen how to run the file. But now I want to debug. Debug means I can go activity by activity. Debug in the debug method, it will tell me, okay, in which activity it is and is the out. So I'll run this one in the step into. So when you do step into, that means you are going into each activity one by one. Okay. So step into means step by step it will. Step by step it will go in one activity. Step over means if you want to skip that activity while doing step into, you can go step over. And step out means if you are inside a loop, you can just click on step out and it will come out. So you can see the information over. Whenever you debug it, you can see information in local. You can see right now when the program is starting, I have two variables, first num and second num. Now I'll go click on step into. Till now, Again, we have three variables: temp, first num, second. Still, we haven't have anything. Click to. That means if you see this green button, because this is a debug method, okay, we are debugging it. Basically, we are checking everything at each activity that, okay, whether if it is error or not and anything, okay. So step into now over here, because this thing became green, that means it implemented properly. You can see in your local panel, you have three variable, temp, num, and second, and you can see value has been assigned. Okay, now I'm in the right line. I'll click on step into, it became green. Now over here, you can see first num 5, second num 8. Although it is in the same line, because I use this VB new line, you can see how your variable is the same log. This is a single log. You can see because of this dot. You can see one first log was this debugging starting for the file swap two numbers. Then variable loop branching execution start. That means this program starts. Then you can see third log is this. But this is third log, but you can see it is has a line break over there because of the VB new line variable. This information is important for you when you will be using projects and all, because these logs will be visible in orchestrator and only architect will be able to see it. So it should be very defined and proper log. Now you are in this activity. So now look at this information. Temp is 0, first num is 5, second num is 8. Now, okay. I can see your temp is 8 because it assigned the second number, whatever the second number value was 8, it is assigned to temp. Okay. Now I'll click on this one. Now my second num is assigned. The first num value is assigned to second num. That means my after this one, my second num become 5. And now click again. Now my first num become 8. So then the table got turned. Over here you can see first num was 5, second num was 8. Over here you can see first num is 8, second num is 5. Okay. Then I click on this one. Now you can see finally first num is 8, second num is 5. So you can see every output, whatever you want to see over here in output. And then I click on enter. Program got ended. So this is how you can step into and debug. Okay. Because I have clicked on execution trail and highlighted this thing. That's why you were able to see this. This is called execution trail, basically. Highlight was when it is highlighting each activity, what is happening. Execution trail, when you enable this execution trail, that means you are saying, okay, tick mark with green if it is executed, tick mark with red if this has some problem. So this is how you are variable. Okay. So now you have 10 minutes. Please perform this one. If you have any doubts, you can ask your question. But this is swapping method. You can perform it. If you are getting any issue, please. Okay. Please open your UiPath. I hope UiPath is installed on your system and you can perform it. Okay. Okay, Sachin.
Maninder, I have one doubt.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Maninder, you
Okay.
started.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Mahesh, please go ahead.
In starting program, without such variable, we can run. It's possible.
Without this one, it's possible, yeah. Yes.
Okay, how it is possible, Maninder?
So, how it without the third variable, right?
Yes, Maninder.
Okay. Now, let's do. So, like, suppose your y is 6, your x. Now, let's suppose I'm making y is equal to. So, I'm making y is equal to y plus x. Something was this like this is equal to. So y plus this will. I'm making it y is equal to x is equal to s x. So it will, and then I'll become y is equal to y minus x. Right. Got it?
Got it, Maninder. Thanks.
This is the second method without the third. Okay, cool. So please perform your first task. Okay. In the UI. If you have any doubt, please go ahead and ask the question. Nilofer, all good?
Yeah. I'm good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Nilofer, you are living in India only, or
Yes, sir. Pune.
okay, because your name is Nilofer. So
Yes, sir. I'm from Pune.
I thought initially I thought you are from some US.
No. India only.
Dhoka. Right. Cool. Please finish this one, guys. Finish,
Yes.
then we'll use. And then the second one, this calculate the exact age of user. This age thing is your homework. So please that one. And I'll provide you guys the solution of the second one also. So and then I'll provide you solution of this in GitHub base. Provide you the link of Git. Okay. But first you have to try it by you. Right now you can finish the swap. Finish it fast so that we can loop.
Done, Maninder.
Nice. Done? Great, man. Okay. So if you are done, then now we can go. Preeti, is it done for you?
Sir, I need only 1 minute.
Okay. 1 minute. After that, you will run from house. Nice. Cool. Okay. Hi, Rohan. Are you done?
No, Maninder, I'm doing.
So, how old you are, Rohan? Man, I'm sorry, I asked you because one of my student was Rohan.
Yeah, I'm 27 years old.
Oh,
Yes.
and you are not my. Okay, great. So you are done with this?
Yeah, doing.
Cool, man.
Now give me 5 minutes.
Okay, no worries. Samruddhi, beta, you are done?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you have downloaded UiPath on your system?
नहीं नहीं किया है अभी तक सेशन
No worries, no worries. Okay, if you have any doubt related to download and all, so we can connect.
ओके ठीक है
If anyone there who haven't downloaded UiPath, please let me know. Evening time we can sit together and download it on UiPath. So we can set up for that. Let me know if you have anything related. Okay.
Maninder, this is out of question. If I have in weekdays, not weekdays, working days, if I have any doubt while practicing, can you connect one to one? Is possible?
Mahesh, so what we will do if you have doubt and if people, all other people, what we will do is we will, in the mid of a weekday, we will have 1 hour of doubt session, 1 or 2 hour of doubt.
Okay, okay.
We can set up a particular week, like suppose Wednesday or Thursday, Wednesday, suppose in the mid of the. So we can have a doubt. If you have a small doubt, like, a little bit of doubt you are getting, you send me a screenshot or you send a screenshot in the group. I'll answer it over there. Or we can call, you can call me if it is 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If it is taking 2 hours, then it won't be possible. No? The wife can beat me.
Okay, okay. Understood.
If you have any doubt,
Uh,
then just call me. If you have 2 minutes doubt, 3 minutes doubt, if you understand that it's going to take 10 minutes, we can have it. Just first post it in group so that I will tell you that whether we can have call or not. Because if it's a bigger one, I'll say that, okay, let's have a doubt session. If it is
Okay,
not, if it is not a bigger one, I'll answer you that time only. Either it will be a text, but it will, you can expect my answer, within 1 hour, entire with the solution. Next.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ashwari, you have doubt?
yeah, Maninder, I have downloaded UiPath, but I need to go through the second part of the video, the previous session. So, today I'm not doing any task. Probably I'll connect with some people, as you said, if you're connecting for this downloading and setuping path and the other steps, even I will join.
Sure. No worries. I'll connect because as I know this is the tool for you in the day. So at the
Okay.
evening time, India evening time, I'll connect with Samruddhi. Then
Sure.
whoever have, so I'll post group the timing. Whoever have doubt
Yeah.
related to downloading, actually, they can join.
And this week, till Tuesday, I think I can attend any sessions. Like if you are connecting, just post it in the group. I will join.
Sure. Definitely.
Okay.
I'll connect.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I hope all of you have done this one. If you have doubt, please let me know. If you are slow, please finish it before or after, means up also. So if you have any doubt, you can just ping me over there on that. I'm not able to. So now let's go to the next topic. Let's go to the topic and okay, I guess something. Okay, no. Now our next topic is loops. The loop is a program structure that repeat a sequence of specific condition is met or till the condition is valid. Okay. Suppose you have you are checking the input. You ask user to enter a number, and if the number is greater than one, greater than 10, you are again asking the user. You are again asking user to enter a number. That's loop basically. Loop is a repeat sequence of instructions until a specific condition is met. You are saying enter a number, enter a number, enter a number, enter a number until the specific condition is met, or you can say that okay, until the number is greater than. Suppose uh, in a real scenario, you have seen, or you must have encountered this situation where you have to click a button on your website, click a button on your website. Sometime once you have to click the button, sometime twice you have to click the button, sometime thrice you have to click the button, and then it is go, the form gets submitted, or then it goes to the third page, then it goes to the next. Sometime in the first click only you are able to switch the window, you are able to go from this to. Sometimes you have to click on second two times because of the internet problem, because of the XYZ problem, not getting submitted, and then you click twice thrice and then it gets. So in this is a loop. You are doing something until and unless that condition is met. Similarly, even if you pick a book and I say read all the pages, okay, until the book is finished. So you are going through each page. That is a loop also. You are doing task again. First page, second page, third page. So these are activities, these are instructions. You are doing that thing. Until the condition is met, that means you are saying until you finish this book. You are asking user to enter numbers until the number is less than 10. Number is greater. Let's click count. Okay, you want to count again? Okay, fine. Okay. There's a condition. So loop will go ahead until the yes. Okay. So now we have three types of loop. In UiPath, we have only three types of loop which we use. While loop, do while loop, for each loop. So let's first see while and do while. So while loop is also called entry control loop. You know why this is called entry control loop? Because it controls the entry of a person into that loop, entry of the person into the loop at the first step. Over here you can see this is the condition over here in the start and the task to perform here. So while loop will check your condition at the first stage. It will check, okay, whether you are eligible for entering a loop or not. Suppose so while loop syntax is while you check a condition over here and then you have task to perform. Suppose I am saying while number is greater than 10, let user or let this person to come inside this. So what will happen? I'm saying, okay, you have entered num is equal to 7. You will be not able to enter the loop. But if your num is 17 now, you will be able to enter inside this. I'm saying that, okay, my new number will be older number minus 1. So what will happen? You will come inside this one because you are greater than 10. You will be able to come inside this loop and you will become 17 minus 1 will become 16. When it is exiting this loop, my num is 16 now. Go back again because this is loop. It will go back again over here and it'll check whether whether my 16 is greater than 10 or not. Yes, it is greater than 10. It will come inside. Then my new number will become 16. My 16 minus 1, which is 15. Now my num is 15. Again, it will go back to this one and check the situation until when it become 10. When you become 10, num become 10, it will come outside. It will check the situation first, whether your 10 is greater than 10. No, that's not possible. So the loop will come outside and your final num will become, because your condition. So while loop will run until and unless your condition is true. If your condition is true, it will. Condition becomes false, it will not come inside the loop. Now you have another loop that is called do while. Do while loop is also called exit control loop. Exit control loop means while exiting your loop, it will check whether you are eligible to come inside loop again or not. Okay. So do while will have some task over here to do, and that at the end of this one, it will check this condition whether you are eligible to come inside this one or not. So suppose similarly, if the condition in the do while, this is task, and then at the condition you are checking your num is greater than 10 or not, and now suppose your num is 7, it will be able to inside this one, because do while loop says one time you can come, one time, the first time, whether you are matching this condition or not, you can come inside the loop. This num will become 6, because my num inside this task was do my num is equal to num minus 1. So if your num is 7, you come inside the loop, num is equal to num minus 1, this becomes 6. Now at the end, it is checking whether your 6 is greater than 10 or not. It is not true, so it will not go inside the loop and it will come out. But by default, in do while, you will go inside the loop once. Definitely you will go in. So this is the difference between while and do while loop. In the while loop, if you are not matching the condition, you are not able to go inside the loop. But in do while loop, even if you are not matching the condition, you will go inside the loop once, at least once. Fernando, clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, cool. So let's go to our UI path and see the activity over here. So we'll build our now. Okay. Now next task is while and do while loop. We have to create a small demonstration over here. Okay. So first we have do while. So in the do while loop, we have to build an activity, it build a workflow in which we have to ask user whether, we have to ask user number again and again and again and again until unless the user will enter an even number. Okay, ask for an even. We have to ask the user for an even number. So if the user asks an even number, we are good with it. Okay, we'll end the program. But if the user doesn't give an even number, we have to ask, is enter even, is enter even. Okay, now let's see whether it is how to check it. Okay, first let's create. So now in the UI path, I'll go to design, I'll create a sequence, and I'll say while, do while even even number check. So we are creating with the help of do while even when we check. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna directly type in the activity panel do while. I'm gonna drag it over here. First thing we're gonna ask is ask a number from you. So we need to do. So what is the repetitive task which we need to do? We need to ask user again and again and again and again for a number until the condition match. First thing we're gonna ask the user is no. So we need to understand what loop we have to do. As we are saying, we need to ask the user, then check the condition. If the condition matching, good. If the condition is not matching, we need to ask again. So that means what will happen? We need to ask user. Okay. So I will take to ask user. We have input dialog box. User over here. Title of input dialog box will be user input over here. Label will be label would be I'll say enter a even number. Okay. Whatever user gonna enter, I need to store this number inside a variable. So what I'll do, I'll create a variable and I'll give the user number. And this is a integer type. So I'll take a integer type. Okay, because this is a user number. So I'll say user number. I'll use it. Whatever user gonna enter, I'm storing this number inside. Okay. Now what I need to do is, okay, okay. So now I'm checking whether the number is whether number is mm, you know even or odd. So I need to check if condition, right? So I'll take condition over. We have branching later. Right now we can just see if condition. What I'm doing in if condition, I'll check whether my number is an even number or not. Because I need to tell user also a dialog box will be here, right? That okay, please you have enter odd number. Please enter even number. Need to put so to check whether a number is even number or not. I have user number mod 2 is equal to I have this expression. Mod means it gives me reminder. Like suppose 3 mod 2 will be 1. If I enter 4, 4 mod 2 is equal will be 2. Will be 4 mod 2 will be 0 because if you divide 4 with 2, you don't get anything as a reminder. So reminder is 0. That's fine. That's good. I'm saying if this condition matching this is a concept of branching, if else. If this condition matching, we have seen if else earlier also in the class. So if the condition matching, I'll say, okay, fine. If this is even number, so I'll put a message box to the user and I'll say user, congrats, this is a an even number. But what if it is an odd number? I'll go to else, I'll enable this, copy this one, sorry, not message box, and I'll say this and odd. Please enter the. This is message box only. So I'll put this same condition, copy this condition, same condition over here also. Okay. Why I'm getting this error? Because this user number, if you see, it is giving me error. It is saying user number is not declared. It may be inaccessible due to its protection level. Because if you go over here, My user number scope is body. What is body? Body is this. And I need to use this variable in outside of the box, which is over here, which is over here, which is over here. So what I will do, I'll increase the scope of this user number, and I have now there's no error. Gonna check whether my number mod 2, whether it is even number or not. So to check the even number, you have to use a mod 2. How you can do it? So I am asking user a number, then I'm checking whether my number whether my number mod 2 is zero or not. Is this good? Not, and I'm checking like this, and this is how. So let me see with the debug. Anyone has any doubt with this activity till now before running, they can ask. Amol, all good?
Yes, Mahendra. Actually, I joined late, so I'm just observing.
So I'm gonna run it step into with this one. Step into I'm gonna do because I'm gonna check activity by activity for this. So I am inside the program. The program has been started. I'll click on this one, debug. Okay, now it will ask me a number. I'm giving 7 and I press OK. It took the 7. User number become 7. You can see in the local panel, as I said, in the local panel, you can see your value, whatever. While you are debugging, in the local panel, you can see everything one by one. Okay. So I am inside this one. Okay. Now it in the if condition, you can see, okay, it asked me a number. Now in the if condition, it check user number mod 2. That means the remainder 7 mod 2 remainder will be 1 because you divide 7 from 2. One as a it is in the else condition because this condition is not true. It is not going over here. It is in the else condition. Now I got a message. This is an odd number. Please enter the number again. Now till now it didn't went back to the it didn't check the condition. To the if else condition for now I'll click on this. Now it is outside. Now it is outside the do while loop. Then again I'll go over here. Okay. In now one loop is done. That's why you got this tick mark. But my condition is not true because my result, you can see over here, my result is false. That means this condition is, not true. Okay, sorry. Okay, this loop will run until this condition is true. So what I need to do is I need to, instead of equals to, I need not equal. So this will be in the loop until unless this condition because user mod 2 7 mod 2 was not 0, it came out of the but what I want is if 7 mod 2 is not equal to 0, be in loop, ask user again and again. If my reminder is not 0, ask user again and again. So I'll go again. Now you will see my condition was I need to give the condition so now let's go ahead, step into, okay, came over here. I ask a number, entering a number 11, which is an odd number. Okay. Now it went over here. Now it asked me, okay, directly went over here. Okay. Now it asked me it says that this is an odd number. Please enter the number again. I press okay. Fine. It came over here. Now this is inside the loop. Okay. Again, it number. My number is not. If I enter even number now, I press okay. Now I went over here. It says, fine, congratulations. This is an even number. I press OK and step into there and you can see program. Why the program is done? Because at the end, my condition got false. Because 8 mod 2 is not, this is not equal to, this is symbol of not equal to. So it is checking whether my user mod 2 is not equal to 0. 8 mod 2 is not equal to 0. No, 8 mod 2 is 0. So this will become false. And the moment the condition become false, it will come out of the loop. Okay. This is how your now you have to build, you know, with the while activity, you have to build uh, workflow, okay, where you will check whether the number is prime or not, and you will ask again and again user for the prime number. Okay, cool. So once I ask once I will send this PPT to you. Okay, so it have all the answers. I'm sorry. So this is your while and do while loop. Okay, you can create it also uh, with the help of the same activities. Okay. Now let's switch to the for each. For each loop is where you will use, it's like you will use for each loop everywhere, most of the time. So how for each loop work is basically you have suppose a list of names and you want to go through each list of names. First, second, third, fourth, you want to go each list of names. So you can do it with the for. For each means if I give you a book and I say, go, you have to read for each page you have to go. So for each will work like this. You go in each page. Okay. In each page you will be able to answer. Okay. Each page what is happening. Okay. Let me show you for each in UiPath. Let me create a sequence over here and I'll say for each name. Now let's focus over here, guys. Okay. So I'm creating a variable and I'm creating a list variable. So I'll click on this one and I'll say name underscore. Now I'll see what is a variable type. So right now my variable type is not defined over here. So I have to go to browse for type and I'll say list. Now I have multiple lists. So list is a collection, basically list is a collection, right? So I'll go over here and in the collection, if you want to search it over here, you can search it like, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Okay. What I will do, the list is, list comes under from dot general. Now, while creating a list, it will ask me what kind of list it is. I need to, from this drop down, I need to select the list is of string because my names are of string. Right? So I will make this list as this type. Now you can see system.collection.generic.list. The list is of type system. Now, while creating list, I need to define. So the first step, whenever you go with a non-primitive variable, okay, collection variable. First thing is you defined variable. The second thing is you need to create object of the variable. First thing is you say, I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to create a list. Okay, I'm going to create a list and this list will be of this type. You have created, declared that, hey, listen, I'm going to fine. Now, second thing is you will create an instance of, or you will create an object of list. You will define list. So I'll create the object with the help of, and I am saying inherit this list class of what kind of class I'm creating? I'm creating a list of string. Okay. So I have declared a list. Now then I have initiated that list, initialized that list. I'm saying, okay, this is a list, a new list. create a new list and assign to this way. Now, the third thing is assigning value to the list. You can assign value with the help of from, and then you can directly give values to it. So I am saying first name Maninder, second name is I'll say Rohan, third name is I'll say Ankur, fourth name is I'll say Safar, Sachin. Okay, I have given the names. So this is how you can assign them. Whenever you go ahead with the non-primitive variable, the collection variable, there are three steps. Go with the primitive variable, you have two steps. Declare variable, assign value. Simple. Whenever you go with non-primitive variable, collections variable, basically, you have three steps. First step, declare variable. Second step, initialize variable or create an object of the variable. And third is assign value. First, declare, initialize, assign. Why initialization is important? Because see, you have said, I'm gonna create a list of variable and I'm gonna assign value to it. Fine, but this is a collection. You are, creating a structure from somewhere. You are creating structure from somewhere. So that structure you need to inherit. Okay, that structure is basically you are inheriting like new list, like you know, saying, okay, I'm gonna. Okay, now then you will assign value to it. The third thing is assignable. So in UiPath, you assign value. Like from, then you assign. So I have assigned value. Now what I want to do is, suppose what I want to do is I want to go to each name in this list. So you can't, whenever you are working with a collection, you can't just directly like you take message box and you have name list and you will say I'll just write name list and just you know run it like this. Let's see, run it like this, and you are expecting that you will get all the information in that in the message once all the name in message. But no, it gives you system dot, it is saying, hey, you have a list of type this. If you want to interact with each item of a list, you need to use for each. You need to use for each. Okay, which is from control. So you will take for each over here. Now you will give your list over. You will say name list. My list is of type name. So you will use for each. Say, okay, your name list, you have given the list of items. So you have given your over here. Now in the property panel, as your list, so there in the property for each, in the property panel, you have type argument. The first thing you have to tell, okay, what kind of list it is. So you have to tell it's a string type. Suppose this list would be a number type. So from argument type, you have to say, because you need to, whenever you are running your list or whenever you are running any loop over here in the for each, you have to tell what kind of data this for each gonna interact. So my type argument is string because my this current item is string. It will go by one each iteration. So let's, in the message box, I'll show what will be my current item. So my current item will be name. One by one. This thing you can change. You can say, okay, uh, name. You can change it. It will. So one item in that will show one by one. That. So if you go with the for each syntax, you go with the for each syntax is for each X in, and the collection name is suppose book. So if your books have this kind of, like suppose your books have RS, PQR. So while running this loop, in the first loop, my X would be ABC. In the second loop, iteration, my X will be RS. In the third iteration means one, this thing called iteration. Second iteration, third iteration, running. In the third iteration, my X would be PQR. Okay. So at one time, in one task. Now, let's see how it shows. So it will go one by one. Step into one by one. We check. First name was Maninder. Again, my second name is Rohan. Okay. You can see the loop is third. And three values were there. Force. Touching. And now again, the loop is done. One by one, it will go and it will interact with one item at that. So it went with, first it went with Maninder, then second Rohan, Ankur, and whatever you want to do. Suppose you want to check how many characters, in that name. So I can say how many characters? I'll say name dot length. That will give you the length of character in that. So if I run it now, will now name Maninder. Okay, now this one is 8. And now it was going back again to this one because we have some items. The name is Rohan and 5. Now it will go back again over here. Name is Ankur. Now again 5. Now again go over here. It's Sachin. And again 6. Okay. Now loop is finished. So it came out of that one and done. So if you want to go ahead with this, kind of one by one item. So for each denotes completely like, okay, each item in that for it. Okay. Clear, Mahesh?
Yeah, clear one.
Okay. So now what's our next task? Okay. So our next task is, where is our PowerPoint? Yeah. So these are the assignment which you have to finish. So you need to write a program to calculate the sum of for 10 numbers. Okay. So these 10 numbers with the help of for each or any. Now, second thing is you have the list of this Rakesh, Mohan, Jagdap, and these. You need to calculate the number of character array in this first array or list. You can create it and save that count in another array or okay? Like x is Badri. Okay, so x dot length will be 8. So this kind of like means length of that. So it's Badri is 5. Okay. And the second thing is the third activity assignment which you have to do is you have to get the string from user and check if it contains vowel or contains vowel or not. If it is contain vowel, just you have to tell okay, it has vowel. If it is not, then ask the user again. Okay? You have to ask again the user that okay, please enter. Otherwise, you have to check whether the number whether it contains vowel or not. Vowel means A, E, I, E, English vowels. So this is the assignment. This is what we have to do. Okay, so for each, then we have while, and loop, right? So these are the basic. So wherever you go in UiPath, these are the fundamental things which you. That's why it got stretched, and that's why it is taking time for us to go back and that thing. So, so we have this for each. So please finish this one by whatever assignment I'm giving you guys right now, you have to finish it by the, and if you have doubt, weekdays, if you want doubt session, you can have doubt session. If you don't have question, we will have the next. So this was the topics and this was the aim for today. You have any doubt, you can, you know, go ahead in my path. Any doubt, let me know. So you can create this one for now. Okay, for, and then we are, I think, so anyone has any doubt, please go ahead. Okay, Preeti, all good?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fernando.
Maninder?
Yeah,
Sir, hello.
Ah,
Means what is the difference, main difference between list and array? Means it is similar type of collection of similar types of data types.
yes, yes. But the list is like it can be stretchable. You know, suppose you are saying 10 numbers. In list, you don't have to define length basically. But while creating an array, you need to say that okay, you know, how lengthy that array would be. Can be like 10 numbers of. You go with the basic array. Now, when we are creating array or list, okay, suppose I'm creating an array. So first, what I will do, I'll say int my arrays of integer type int uh, num array, right? I have declared that. First thing I'll do, because this is collection, so first I'll declare this one. I'll say, hey, I'm gonna store my array into this variable. So declare. Now the second thing would be creating or creating an object of it. So what I will do, num array is equal to new int, and then I have to tell inside this bracket how many entries I'm expecting in this array. So I'll say 10. So that means this array, num array, will have 10 entries or 10 numbers only stored. I can't store 11th number, 12th number. And then I will do what I will do. Then I will num array is equal to 1, sorry, no, 1, 2, 3, 77, 89, 52, 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is how array goes. But if you go with a list, what you will do, you will create a list and you will say, okay, list of string I'm creating, list of integer I'm creating. And then I'll create some list. Okay. And then what I will do, I'll definitely num list. I'll create object of it. I'll say new, and then I'll say list. Then I have to define of int 30. That means I don't have to tell that okay, what kind of list I am creating. I don't have to tell what kind of, sorry, how lengthy my list. I'm directly saying okay, my list is of type. No. Now I can go num list and I can assign only two numbers. Or I can assign 77, 56, 32. If I want to add more, I can add more. 29, 17, like this. So this is the difference, basic difference between a list and array. Array is basically, and both, both of the collection uh, can have same kind of, but one is defined, another one is defined. Got it, Jyoti? Or Nilofer?
Yes, good.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, how can add a item in a list?
So we have add function. So you just have to give a list, okay?
Yeah.
List and then dot add, and then you can
Okay.
just give the value. You want to add number
Thank you.
over here,
Thank you.
you can.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. In UiPath, whenever you want to do some collection, you have add. So add data to collection. Something will be there. Like this. Add, 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 add. Okay. Some we
In
add.
new version, it is not there.
Okay. New version. Add data. Okay. Add. Not in new. Is there for creately I. So if you want to create a list, then it list type and update it. So you have this list. Okay, cool. So any other doubt? Okay, okay. So we have one smaller topic related to the loops. Okay, and which is not actually in the loop. Really, not. We have the difference between continue and break. Anybody knows what is break and what is continue in loop? Mahesh?
For suppose if it is for loop now, we can I want to break that loop.
Yes.
And
You are got
continue, we
it.
can the process.
Okay.
Continue the loop.
Yes, yes. So, Rajeshwari, you guys have 10 minutes. Fernando, you have 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, Maninder.
Cool. Okay. So just I need your 10 minutes. Okay, guys. So we have two concepts over here in the loops. Okay, which is continue and break. These are important. Okay, whenever you are using loops, these two things makes your loop. Suppose you are going into a loop, do while or for each loop, any loop for each x in books. Okay. I went and I told Fernando that, okay, Fernando, I have a library. Okay. I have 10 books, 20 books. You have to search each book. Okay. You have to tell me each book. You have to check each book until you get, that book name contains Mockingbird, or until that book name contained A Thousand Splendid Suns. Khalid Hussein. Anyone, any from the lost symbol. These ones. Then you don't have to go ahead. So I gave you a collection and I gave you a condition and I said, you met this condition, break the loop. You don't have to go with the next. Like you went to a library, okay. You said, okay, I'm gonna search for Dan Brown, The Lost Symbol. So you read the first book name, second book, third book name, fourth book name, sixth book name, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. 11th, you got Dan Brown, The Lost Symbol. You will not search for the 12th or 13th or the 5th, 14th, 15th. I want you to break the loop. But if the break is not there, you will go, you will learn, you got the book, but you'll go for until unless the collection, until unless you have seen each and every book of library, which is just a waste of time. Okay. So I use for each, and then inside the for each, I use if condition. So in this one, suppose we have names, right? I am saying Suppose that name contains an Ankur, or ROH. If that name contains ROH in it, break the loop. Don't go for the next. So I print the name, I print the number, or I can say that, okay, if the number, if the name is less than 6, if the name length is less than 6, don't go. I got my name, right? Or if I say, if condition I put inside this, and I say, if my name contains, okay, if my name dot contains, if my name contains ROH, then what I want break the loop. So you have break over here. You can directly drag it over. So what will happen if I go step into? So I'm using contains function. Okay, so contains function, what it does basically in contains function, it's a function of the string. Okay, it will check whether this text it here in this name or not. So my name is Manin. Okay, it over here. No, it didn't found that one, so it didn't went in. Okay. Now my next name is Rohan, ROH. Right now it went inside this one. It will go over here because the condition is true now. It will go inside this branch and it will go ahead and break the loop. Now over here you can see it broke the loop. If the break is not there, it will go to all the entry. It was going till at the end entry, which was such. But because the condition is matching over here, it break it. Okay. So if suppose now instead of break, if I have after this, I'm putting again log message, not log message. I'm putting a message box, right? I'm putting a message box over here. So the if condition, I have a message box and I'm putting a message like I'm saying this is loop with I'm putting here. Okay. If this has come. Now, I have in the initial one, I have put the break. I said, okay, you get the Rohan, ROH, you got break it. But now I don't want to break it. Okay. What I want to do is suppose I have few tasks after this condition, checking the condition. If the condition is true, don't go for the next task, means don't go for the further task. Go for the other condition. That's called continue. That's called continue. That means I say if the name contains Rohan, don't go next. Go for the other iteration. That means after Rohan, the name is Anku. Go for the. So how it does basically, if I go step by step, these are small topics, but basically it's very important topic. Okay. Now I went over here. It went to the message box. It shows me a name. Fine. It checked the condition. The condition is not matching. So it went to this one, last one, and step into shows me with the Maninder. The loop is running with the Maninder. Now it over here. Now it went to the condition. Okay, Rohan, it went to the condition. Now in condition, it check, okay, it contains ROH, right? So it will click on the continue. That means continue. The moment it press the continue, it came out. That means now my name is Ankur. That means if you see, it didn't, because the condition was matching over here, it didn't went to the next step. What it does, it finished this iteration. Difference between iteration and loop is okay, continuous. Iteration means one flap, one flip up. Over here, it went over here. Now you can see this condition is not matching. So what it will do, it will go next one. And then next iteration, you can see it will continue till. Okay, now it's going, condition is not matching, so it is not going continue. And now over here, thing is done. Loop. So you can see in continue, in break, it broke the loop. While we were using break, it broke the loop and came out of the loop because the condition is matching. But if the condition is not, suppose I have put that, okay, condition is matching, don't break the loop, go for the other item. The next item. Show me the next end. Done with this, I went, go to the library, okay, read each book. If that book have, pick of feather, maybe bookmark, don't read it. Go for the next. That's continue. Means you will continue doing your task. Okay, you will continue doing your task. Your task was reading the book. Okay, but the condition in between I put is okay. Read each book, but if in that book, if in any one of the book, any two, three, four, any one of the book has peacock feather over there, that means a bookmark. That means you don't have to go ahead with that book. Means you don't have to go to the next page where the book. What you will do? You will see, oh, the peacock feather is here. You close the book, pick the next book. You will finish each book in the library. Continue. That's the concept of and
Maninder, if I use continue activity or else we can do empty, it's working fine, right?
means
And,
over here.
and then continue with continue or empty also fine, right?
No, so continue is basically Mahesh, like okay, I came over here, I check the condition. If the condition is matching, I'll put the continue. That means it will not go for this activity now. Because if the condition is matching and it hit the continue, it will go from here only, it will go back and it will start the other item. But
We
if you
want to
put
go activity.
it will not go to the next this activity. It will
Okay.
if the condition is not matching, it will it will not hit the continue, right? So it will go to that, then go to that. But suppose you put it empty over here, it will come, it will enter the name, it will check the condition, it will check the condition. Okay, the condition is like this. Okay, fine. Then what it will do, it will check, okay, that name is not matching with name doesn't have Rohan. Even if the name has ROH, Rohan, the name is Rohan, and if ROH, it will come inside. It will say, okay, fine, now continue now. You don't have continue over here, so it will go over here because you didn't have continue or break. you know if you want to say, okay, fine, you want to check something over here. Suppose you have loop over here, you have ABC, you check that one, the loop is going on, fine, done. The loop is going on, fine, done. The loop is going on, but the condition is matching and you put the continue. So what will happen? It will not go for the next. It will go over here and finish it. It will go over here and finish it. Like this is continue. Break is, if you put a break over here, suppose this is again, if you put A, B, C, D, E, you have break somewhere over here, it will come over here, fine. It will come over here, fine. It matching the condition, it put the break, it will not go further. That means it will not go to D entry or E entry. That's break. Okay. Now you are saying if you haven't put anything over here, so what will happen? It will come, first iteration done, it will come, second iteration done, it will come, check the condition, condition matching, you haven't put anything over here. You haven't put inside, then you haven't put continue or anything. It will go ahead normally. So you need to use continue over here so that it can just break this iteration and go to the next side. Okay.
Okay, Maninder.
So continue and break. These two things are important. And this is not like, okay, the continue and break will work only with for each. It works with while, it works with do while, it works with any type of loop. Whatever loops, wherever loops are there, continue and break. It requires the loop. If you see, if I say, okay, you are saying like, okay, continue, you can use somewhere else. If I drag it above, it's gonna throw error. See, activity can only be placed inside a loop, a trigger scope or a next to it. It can be only used inside. Okay. Okay. So these were the basic topics, loops and all. So you will get, it will take a little bit time. You will get the recording and the PPT. Also in that PPT, you will have assignment. So please finish the assignment. By this week, you will get all the solution assignment so that you can match and check how it is done. Proper format, you will get that solution assignment. Okay.
Can you please share me the PPT? That's questions PPT,
Yes,
assignment PPT.
we'll share PPT in the means PPT link in the group basically from where you can view the PPT.
Okay, man.
Okay, cool. So thank you for joining the session, guys. I really appreciate that. Morning 8 o'clock. Oh, so as tomorrow the class will be at the same time. So please be on time. We have less time and a lot of things to cover. So what will happen if you don't come on time? I means in the future I can skip the topics. I'll say okay, we have less time. If I have more time, we have more things to cover. Cool. So, thank you for joining the session. Then, if you have doubt, you can stay in the call. If you don't have doubt, you can enjoy your Sunday. And uh, foreigner guys, Saturday, enjoy your evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Maninder.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Maninder, I have a doubt like in the UiPath Studio, you are writing the string like in the arrow marks and what should be in the output. And after the semicolon and everything, you are writing plus name. Means why do we have to write plus for here? Plus,
Yeah,
plus.
okay.
Um,
So this is called concatenation. Sorry, yeah,
okay.
but this is called concatenation. That means you are combining two strings together.
Okay.
So why I'm writing this? Because this name is a variable and this is
Mm,
a hard code value. This is a fixed value.
mm,
So I am writing it like this. So that it can be combined with this when this variable have some value. So this will be combined. Plus I'm
okay.
over here to club two strings together. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Don't worry. String functions we have in future also. We have when we will be using PDF automation, we have string function over there. Will be a
Okay.
complete thing about string, how to get length of the string, how to club strings together, how to replace something in string and all. Everything will be there. Okay. So these
Okay.
will be
Thank you.
elaborated for. Okay. Thank you, Aditi. Okay. Cool. Rohan, any doubt?
No, Maninder, I'm good.
Okay. Cool, man. Please go through the
Mm.
recording once.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Hello, Samruddha. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys.